Hello, you sexy biscuits, and welcome into planet Earth. Well, this makes me feel absolutely bloody tiny. Although I think we can confirm right now that the Earth is definitely not flat. It looks like a giant basketball. Boing, boing. I would be a crap god, I'm just gonna say. And if we look out there, we can see where the TV show Voyager takes place. If you just travel very, very far that way. Can I find the moon? Where's the moon? There's the sun. Hello? Moon? I think I've misplaced the moon. That's not the first time. So you're probably wondering what we're doing here today. Well, it's because I can travel anywhere on this globe. So for instance, I've travelled to Rio de Janeiro. And if we look behind us, we've got that big Jesus guy. And he's bloody massive. Oh, I wonder what else is massive. It's lucky I'm not afraid of heights or anything. This is pretty terrifying, actually, I'm gonna be honest. But being able to travel literally anywhere gave me some ideas. Yeah, that's right, we're currently right above Ratai. And if I was to look to my left and to my right, you guys can see the slight curvature of the Earth. Because we are currently hovering right above Ratai. Now, if I was to press this button... Oh, okay. Made me feel slightly giddy, but okay. We can actually drag ourselves right above Ratai. And there it is in all its glory. So if we were to look above Ratai here, we've actually got Ledechko, we've got Samapesh, we've got Merahead, we've got Ushits up here. And we're going to try and travel to some of these today. I may return to this because obviously being in full 3D, there's a lot more to explore. But my favourite place has to be Sternberg. I love the sound of Czech towns, they sound really bloody awesome. So I am going to travel down to Ratai by pressing this button. Oh. I'm fine. Okay. So I'm literally flying right now to Ratai. I'm like a terrible superhero that only deals with biscuits. So that's a thing. But if we were to actually look on my left hand here, we can see exactly what road we're traveling down. And if I was to travel to about here, I can literally stick my head into Ratai. You see that? And then I can take my head out. That's bloody weird. But I'm just going to click on it because then we're in there forever. So this is Ratai. This is the weirdest bloody experience of my life. Obviously, we're a little bit higher than I am in real life. I'm only 6 foot, but we're currently around 8 foot, I think, right now, because of course, we're a camera on a van. So obviously scale isn't going to be perfect, but look. Now, of course, this is where the bailiff of Ratai lives. This is where his offices are. And if you look around here, I'm going to travel over here a little bit. Oh, that's a weird feeling. It's not smooth, I can say that. And here we have the Ratai Church. And honestly, it's quite a lot taller than I was expecting. I wish we could actually go inside here. I don't think it's going to allow us to. No, unfortunately not. But you guys can see from the outside, it does still look kind of similar to how it does in Kingdom Come Deliverance. Also, I'm gonna say it right now, but I'm slightly terrified of that weeping angel over there. So I'm gonna say right now, don't blink. So we're going to take the steps that Henry would when he first entered Ratai. So if I was to come over to around here and turn my body around, this is where he would come out onto Ratai Street, right? Because he'd come out from around here when he came up the path, and he'd travel along up here, and he'd come to about here. So this is where the stocks would have been, right in front of me, right here. Basically, where the camera of the Google truck is where the stocks would have been in the town square. It's weird to think that those people in those stocks never assumed that one day someone would literally travel to that location in virtual reality. The idea would be completely insane, and it's still kind of blowing my mind. Now obviously we've looked at these places on Google Street View before, but the fact I'm actually here and able to look around like this is mad, because I am here. I am in this location. I am in Kingdom Come Deliverance. So I'm going to travel up the road a little bit, and you guys can see it's identical to how it is in KCD. The layout is exactly the same. Obviously back then there wasn't this place, and also that definitely didn't used to be a hotel, but now it is. So after making my videos on the real life locations of KCD and looking at the Google reviews for these places, the hotel that's right in front of us apparently has seen those videos and are more than happy for people to come and stay. So that is crazy. So if you're in Ratai, come over here and book a room in the hotel. And make sure to tell them the bailiff sent you. The bailiff of VR. So one thing VR is definitely helping with right now is scale, because obviously when we were looking at Google Street View, we weren't able to kind of take in how big these places were, but I'm having to look up quite a lot right now to actually be able to see all of this house. I think over there, that's now a nightclub, so that's something interesting. So over here would have actually been where the shop is, you know, where you can buy food and that kind of thing. And heading up would be where the clothes store is. Although, heading back down, of course, here is where the armor place would be. And there would be where the potion place would be. That's so bloody weird. I think this is absolutely bloody amazing. Oh, look at that, there's a person, hello! It's me, Henry, bailiff of Biscuit Town. You don't have to respond, no one ever really does. Right, well I appear to have entered the nether, so just give me a second. That was terrifying. Oh look, it's another person, hello, I'll call you Red Jumper Guy. Oh and look at that, he's wearing camo trousers. I almost couldn't see them because they blend in perfectly with your surrounding area. So here would be the entrance leading up to the other chapel, I think. Oh look at this, we've got Restaurants Pension. Well, who knew there was a restaurant for old age pensioners? I never noticed this before. There is actually a statue here with what looks like a person holding a baby? What is that? That's really quite hard to work out what that is. I think that's what that is. I don't know. Either that or it's Henry, bailiff of Biscuit Town, giving out biscuits to the locals of Ratai. Looking further up, we find ourselves looking at a Triumph Herald? I think? Or is that a Triumph Spitfire? I don't know. That's, very old. Okay. God, that building is absolutely bloody gorgeous. Oh my god, I think I've learned Czech because I'm pretty sure that says hotel. Ah, here we go. Hotel U Zamku Restauros, which I'm guessing is a hotel with a built-in restaurant. So this is something really interesting. If you look up at these windows here, they're absolutely fine. But if you take a look at the one on the right here, I don't know what happened to that. Because all of these look great. And then this one, they've actually had to brick up. Did it get hit by something? Because this whole side here has been completely wrecked by something. It's kind of a shame because this whole area is absolutely beautiful. This building looks really nice. Obviously, it's had damage over the years and they've had to, I guess, paint over it multiple times, which is why you can see different layers of colour, which I really like. I just find this kind of thing absolutely bloody fascinating. I am completely lost now. I'm not sure where we are. Now, I know for a fact that if you actually look on Street View, you can look inside the giant courtyard at the top of Ratai. I think what we're looking at right now would be the exit of Ratai as a whole. So you've gone up the entire high street and you're now past the gate looking out into the fields and you can see the small lake tavern that's way off in the distance. I think that's where we are right now, but I could be wrong. Because unfortunately, I can't travel up here that I know of. No, you can't. So you can't get up here. Otherwise, we'd actually be able to travel to where the tournaments are in KCD and actually see the whole courtyard up here. From what I've seen, it looks very good still. And if you want to head over to my other previous videos where I look more in depth at that, you guys can. I did a whole video on Ratai. So I've accidentally zoomed down and we found ourselves here. I think this is where KCD is, around here. And we've got Prague up here, which I'm hoping is where the sequel is going to take place. So it's actually quite far. You even got Vienna down here, you've got Austria, you've got Munich down there. You don't really take into account how close all these places are on the grand scheme of things. You've got Dresden, Germany up there. You've even got Slovakia down here. So I've travelled outside of Ratai because after I made my Kingdom Come in Real Life video, where we actually found the bathhouse, which would be around there, in theory, they actually had a marker here and they actually had reviews for the bathhouse in KCD. Since I made that video, that's disappeared. I think they took it off for some reason. But this is the road that would be taking us to Miller Peshek's house. Now, I don't know if we can actually get on this road or not. I think we just have. So, if we were to turn around quickly, yeah, here we go. So this is the row of houses where the bathhouse was listed, which you can blatantly see are definitely not bathhouses. They are actually just general houses. I do like the fact that you can actually look up and see part of Ratai's, I think, lower gate up there. So if we were to travel a bit further up here, there's no photos. Oh, damn, so I can't actually get to the real bathhouse. That kind of sucks. Now, I know for a fact there is another map service which we've looked at which allows us to travel to all these places, but unfortunately, I can't go to those with Google Earth. That doesn't stop me from taking a look with this. Now, that, in theory, is the bathhouse. We can travel forward a bit more, and if we look here, what's this? Oh, yes, that's Miller Peshek's. Right there. That is, in theory, what would be his barn in the game, and his house would have been here. Unless that thing is a house, and if so, that makes kind of perfect sense. But yeah, that is Miller Peshek's. So yeah, here we go. So if I was above Miller Peshek's, we travel up here, and then take the road up into Ratai Town Square. That is amazing. We can even go out onto the riverbank and look at the water, and it's a lot more brown than I remember it being in KCD, but yeah, that is amazing. So another cool thing I can actually do here is I can change the time of day. So we can actually make it nighttime, which is absolutely bloody mad. But obviously for today's video, we want to make this as bright as possible. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that sunset over Ledechko. That's amazing. I'm going to put the sun at its highest point to make this look as good as possible. So we are flying over Ledechko. This is the bridge that leads over here, and we can actually see the roads going up here. Now, if I was to go to around here and see if we can actually drop off ourselves here. Yes, we can. We can drop ourselves off here. This is where we would walk up into Ledechko. So taking my steps across this bridge, in theory, this is where the fisherman is. If you guys remember, there's that guy, I think he's fishing or doing something, sat here just before you can walk back up to Ratai. And in theory, this is where the tavern would be, right here. Now, oddly enough, this looks like a hotel slash tavern slash restaurant. So this actually oddly fits in. I would love to stay in a hotel here and just explore these places, because obviously VR can only do so much, but I adore the fact I can actually do this, and the fact I can travel to these locations with you guys and actually travel around here is absolutely amazing. Now, we also have a market in Ledechko, so if you're in Ledechko, fancy going to a market, you can. So, travelling past here, there's not really much in Ledechko. If I remember correctly, there's really only two paths. So you come past the tavern, and then there's a path with some stores this way, and then you can keep going up and round into the forested area. Now that is exactly the same layout as it is here. Unfortunately, we cannot travel left, so we can't actually do that. So if we were to keep traveling up, I think there's a guy that ends up stealing something from one of the stores down here, and you chase him up this road here, which is really, really cool, because this kind of makes sense in my head to what Ledechko actually is, and I really find it kind of fascinating that even though this is nowadays, I can still picture 1403 Ledechko in my head. Now, I know obviously it's a video game, and it was heavily based on history, and documents, but of course they have obviously taken some inspiration from the real now locations, and I'm guessing that's where most of KCD's design comes from in terms of layout. I'm trying to read some of these posters. I think one of those says, subscribe to Sexy Biscuit. I think either that, or it says, head on over to my displayed link in the description below. Oh god, I've become a YouTuber. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's been really kind of fascinating looking around these places and just seeing the real life locations, but in virtual reality. It definitely helps me kind of work out how big these places are in the grand scheme of things, because obviously we can't get scale just looking at Street View. We need to physically be there. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like down below. But until next time, that's me out. Bye, guys.